Hello Embers, welcome to the channel, Final Flame here, and today I have a different kind of video for you today. So, if you already read the title, you kind of have an idea, but right in front of you is Stan. I call him Stan the Man, and this account does not belong to me, this belongs to my buddy, well, named Stan. And Stan is AR 35 and has only been up and running for about a few weeks. So, my buddy Stan's pretty lazy. So as you guys see through the characters, he has not made much progress with his characters, you know, investment wise. And he also still has quite a bit to go within the game, as you guys will see later on. But you can see Stan doesn't seem to really roll much and has been playing with a very limited roster. The reason for this is really due to Stan only rolling on the standard banner because Stan is trying to save as many primo gems as possible for Sumeru. Stan saw Sumeru and he's like, yo, it's time to play Genshin Impact. So he came in and he's been saving ever since for the past few weeks. Now, how did I end up on Stan, if you're wondering? So Stan, like I said, is a bit lazy and he's only really looking forward to Sumeru. So after making quite a bit of progress through Mondstadt and some of Liyue, Stan basically called it quits. And I was like, Stan, you can't just call it quits. You should, you know, get ready for Sumeru or you're not going to be ready in time. And Stan was like, okay, you do it for me. Well, that's what we decided to do because I already have a super invested account. You guys have seen my account. I have all the characters, almost all the weapons, soon to be all the weapons, but we'll talk about that for another day. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I really don't have much to do on my account until Sumeru really drops. So I was like, yeah, this will be great, especially since I have been fiending for Sumeru like crazy. So this is actually going to be a really fun challenge for me to see if I can get Stan the Man ready for Sumeru before Sumeru drops in late August. So I actually started yesterday, aka Sunday, the 24th, and I have 1 month to see if I can get this account, Stan's account, to Sumeru ready status. As you guys can see, Stan has made actually some really good progress on exploration and stuff. He just basically called it quits after a while because he's, again, only looking forward to Sumeru. And I figured this challenge is going to be a really good change of pace for the channel. Not to mention, it's really just going to keep me busy until Sumeru finally drops. And then I can, you know, go all hype and crazy mode about that. But yeah. There are a few rules for me playing on Stan, and I'll get into them, but I just want to show you guys the primo gems that Stan has right now. 12,693, 8 intertwined fate. But yeah, let's get into the rules. So Stan set some guidelines before I got onto the account. Rule number 1, no spending primo gems. Rule number 2, no weapon crafting. Rule number 3, I can summon, but I can only summon on the standard banner with the free acquaint fates. Rule number 4, no characters past level 80. Rule number 5, no fragile resin being used. And rule number 6, the account must be ready for Sumeru day 1. So, with this challenge, I decided, okay, first things first. Let me go and try to get this Xinyan a little bit invested into so I can actually use her for, you know, carrying the account until, you know, it was time. But after a while, I realized this Xinyan's not doing it, so I switched tactics to the Traveler. Since Travelers seem to already have quite a bit of investment, I decided, okay, let's invest into the Traveler's prototype Rancor, and we went straight to the domain. And let me tell you, I appreciate the mess out of my characters that I have on my account that I took the time to invest in, because having to go onto somebody else's account, especially when the characters aren't properly invested into, is very eye-opening. It's like, dang, man, these characters cannot cut it. As you guys could see, I was not able to clear the fight for the domain, so I had to go back, change the tactics a little bit, mess with some artifacts. I actually had to level some artifacts too in order to make sure that the Traveler actually had a fighting chance. But thanks to this change, I was able to manage to, you know, clear the domain. It took a little bit, but it wasn't the cleanest run, but it was done. It was done, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day, getting the job done. But yeah, after clearing this domain, I was sitting there like, dang, okay, let's go get this prototype Rancor all leveled up, and then we'll have to plan out for the next phase. So I was thinking to myself, okay, what can I do after I get this prototype Rancor all, you know, situated and leveled up? Xiangling, she is free for the taking in the Spiral Abyss. Free character, Stan doesn't have her yet. And then after I thought about Xiangling, I was like, oh, Fischl is also going to be a very good investment. So I took the prototype Rancor to level 60, went and took care of Traveler's Talents, got them to 6, 5, and 6. I didn't have enough materials to get that last 6, but you know, it is what it is. And then I set my sights on going to the Spiral Abyss. But before that, I decided to check the Adventurer's Handbook, and luckily for me, I got AR 36. So we made a little bit of AR progress. So after claiming my, you know, rewards, I decided to look through all the events just to see, okay, what is blocking the way for some of these. In the case of the Spiral Abyss, I could definitely go there already, but there were a few quests that were in my way for Fischl. So I decided, okay, after the Spiral Abyss, let me go and run my butt through as many of these story quests as I can, and hopefully I can get Fischl today. So I went to the Spiral Abyss, and let me tell you, I was dominating. Now I know it was only floor 2 through 3, but dang man, it felt good to actually go back to those floors and not just like one shot them. It was actually like a semi fight, not a big fight, but there was a little fight. So it was actually kind of fun, just like going back to these like stages that I've never been to before, especially with the edges, so you can actually knock off enemies. That was actually pretty dope. But I really did enjoy, like, you know, reminiscing a little bit in the lower stages, because I really don't go there anymore now that I'm, you know, AR 60 with like all my characters past level 80. But yeah, after finishing the final, you know, stage of the Spiral Abyss 3-3 that I needed, I went out of the Spiral Abyss, got myself Xiangling. It was like, yay, feels good. And honestly, this is a huge improvement already for the account, because now Stan has access to one of the best pyro characters in the game. Honestly, some people would argue the best pyro character in the game, but you know, that's between y'all. I already know who my favorites are. But anyway, after that, I went straight on a story binge. As you could see, I started off with the, what was it? I think it was like the 1.4 or 1.3 Archon quest, where we finally run into our other sibling with Dainsleif. That was a bit of a nostalgia. Then I went straight into Kazuha's story quest, where we were trying to reactivate his friend's vision. That was actually pretty dope. And can I just say, I loved like rushing through the story and like just seeing all these cutscenes like back to back to back during the story quest. But at the same time, I really did realize there is a lot of dialogue in so many story quests, like a lot of dialogue. After skipping through most of the dialogue, the actual like substance outside of it is not really all that much to like, you know, do. It actually made running through them pretty quick. But, you know, after I finished Kazuha's quest, I was like, okay, well, I might as well go and unlock Inazuma for Stan while we're at it, because Stan doesn't have Inazuma. So I was like, okay, let me do this. And then as soon as I finish up in Inazuma, I need to head my butt right back, because I got to go to the Golden Apple Archipelago. Because as you guys already know, the Golden Apple Archipelago is a time limited thing to this patch. And I want to make sure that I get that out of the way 100% in case I don't manage to do everything I want on this account before Sumeru. I do want that to at least be done, no questions asked, so Stan's getting at least the maximum amount that he can get. So after arriving in Sumeru, I headed all the way back to Mondstadt and helped Diluc out with the Dark Knight hero. I was actually kind of surprised that I couldn't go straight into the 2.8 story, but I found out that there was quite a few character quests that I needed to do before then. So I had to start off with Diluc, and immediately after I finished up with Diluc, I had to go straight to Klee, help her figure out her whole bomb situation with the Abyss Mage. It was actually quite adorable. I loved Klee's story quest the first time I did it, so it was kind of nice to, reminisce in the nostalgia a little bit. And then immediately after that, I had to head my butt to Liyue and go, help Mona and her broke ass out. Oh, my B, not broke, but broke butt out. But yeah, it was actually pretty dope helping out Mona too. Especially now that I see her in her new outfit for the story, so this is kind of a different experience. Now, halfway through doing Mona's quest though, I realized my resin was almost capped, so I was like, okay, I need to go and spend a little bit before I do that. So I went back to the Power Registry, but this time intending to invest in Xiangling. And as you can see, a little bit of investment and boom, you can actually defeat things that, you couldn't defeat before. So it's good to see. So, I leveled up Xiangling real quick, got her to level 50, and then it was really just back to the races. I was trying my best to get through as many story quests as I could in day one. Hopefully I could get through all of them, or at least I thought I could get through Kazuha's and then just do his event fight until I got all the floatsims I need. But we'll talk about that more once we get to that point. So after I finished with Xiangling, I headed back to Mona, and then we finished up her quest, and then it was finally time. Finally, after all of that running around and skipping through dialogue, it was time for the Golden Apple Archipelago. I was like, yes, this is going to be an epic day one. If I can get Xiangling and get Fischl for this account, that's going to be huge, because those are two characters I can 100% invest to that can carry me through most of the game. And then I ran into an issue. Apparently, there was an NPC who was needed, and it was Cyrus, even though I don't remember Cyrus being needed in this Golden Apple Archipelago. Apparently, this is something that they left in from the last one, so until I cleared up the whole thing with Cyrus and Dragonspine, I couldn't continue with the Golden Apple. But once I went to Dragonspine, cleared it up, we managed to finally make it all the way to the Golden Apple Archipelago, and man, the nostalgia, what do I talk about the nostalgia? I was literally doing the quest last week, but you know what I mean. It's pretty dope seeing these cutscenes over and over again. Honestly, Genshin needs to make anime, 100%. But anyway, after, wrapping up day one of the Golden Apple Archipelago, it was finally time to go and tackle Kazuha's domain. So the game plan was rush through Kazuha's domain, get his story done, and then I was hoping that since the Golden Apple Archipelago has technically already done all of its time-limited stuff the past week, that I could just finish just Kazuha's and then farm his until I could get Fischl's done. Unfortunately, that was not 100% the case. So as I was going through Kazuha's, I was, keeping this in mind, like, okay, get through Kazuha's. I don't need to do anybody else's, and then I can just end for the day. At this point, I've already been playing like 6 hours total on this account, just trying to make progress and progressing through the story. So you could probably think I was tired at this point. I was, but I finally finished it, and I was like, okay, time to go get some floatsims. I didn't realize that it was story locked, not time locked. So apparently, until I do all 4 of the characters' domains, I cannot get all 2,400 floatsims I need to unlock Fischl. So, after taking an L for this, and then basically meaning all the progress I made today I wouldn't be able to finish up on, I decided it's probably for the best that I go and work on something else, because I did not have the mental capacity at this time to go and sit there and try to get Fischl in the same day. That would have literally been like another 3 to 4 hours of playing Genshin, and I still haven't even done like my dailies on my main account. So I decided to, really just call it quits for the day, but I did want to go back to Inazuma and unlock Stan, the Electro, Traveler, because why not? Not to mention, just open up the map a bit, get a statue of the 7. So that was a big win. And after that, I was like, dang, what do I do now? I was really sitting there like, I don't know, man. Like, what can I do to really wrap this up? Well, it being Sunday, it was pretty obvious what I needed to do before, I left. Not to mention I wanted to make sure I got Stan's account as close to Sumeru ready as possible, so I decided to farm some of the weekly bosses. Hopefully we could get some dream solvents and, just boss drops in general so I can invest in the characters that are already on the account to improve them. Ideally, I would have preferred to farm La Senora and the Raiden Shogun, but let's be honest, first off, this account was nowhere near ready for that, nor was I going to sit there for another like 4 to 5 hours just to make progress to unlock both of those bosses in that day. But that is something I plan to do in the following week. But anyway, overall, it wasn't really a bad day. I managed to farm the 3 weekly bosses, I unlocked Inazuma for Stan, not to mention I got him the Electro Traveler, I unlocked Zhang Ling from the Spiral Abyss, and I managed to invest in Aether and Zhang Ling a bit so that they were a little bit stronger. Now, my game plan is to really see how far I can get this account and just see if I can, challenge myself to make this account as Sumeru ready as possible. And if you guys want to, check out more of this process as it's happening, come by the Twitch. It's going to be linked down below in the pinned comment or in the description. So if you want to see it live happening, stop by the Twitch. But I do want to thank my Twitch chat for helping me out with this, and I do want to upload more videos like this. Now, I'm not going to do it on a daily basis, but I do plan to upload quite a few, before Sumeru drops, maybe 10 videos total. So, until next time though, Embers, remember to keep burning bright, and I can't wait to talk to you all later. Latom.
Cooking in the stove like I'm John Lane. Get too close, I put that flame on you like two towel mates. Try to run, you won't get far. My gun, you got sniper aim. One day when we find our sibling, we'll see brighter days. Yeah, wishing for brighter days, wishing for finer things, like a 5-star name. Yeah, I'm addicted to